By the way, this video is sponsored by War Thunder, and more on War Thunder in just a second. Alright, so finally here it is. Yes, that brand new Space Marine 2 blog post. I promised you guys I would cover this one. It goes over some brand new details about exactly how Siege Mode will be working, some teases about Update 8, and even teases about future updates as well that we have to dive into. Plus, we got a ton of brand new dev responses out on Discord. Let me tell you what, they have been extremely vocal this morning about all things Siege Mode and spill even more details over there on the Discord that we have to talk about. But I did want to start out here, a reminder about what Siege Mode is all about. Check it out. It says this. Let's recap what we know already. So yes, the action does take place on Kodaku. It will be up to 3 players, either with friends or with 2 bots, just like in regular PvE. You will get to fight waves of both Tyranids and Chaos. More on that in a moment. By the way, we got some dev responses out on Discord. Difficulty will increase for each wave defeated. Your class and weapon progression are shared between operations and Siege Mode. And the Siege Mode isn't a DLC, it's also a free update. So you really do have to keep that in mind as well. So let's go ahead and talk about, yes, get this, Siege Mode will also be playable on the public test server starting June 4th. So mark that on your calendar. They also have a tutorial here on how to access that as well, which, by the way, I'm going to throw the link to this blog post in the description below so you could read it for yourself. But how will Siege Mode work? So you will earn points for each completed wave. Points are distributed among each player. Example, if the wave grants you 600 points and there's 3 of you, then each person will get 200 points. Check this out right here. Here are consumables that you could spend those points on. You have the Astartes reinforcements that you could call in. The Astra Militarum can also be called in. And yes, we have the Dreadnought support, which is going to be the most expensive call in for sure. Now it says, spend your points at the requisition terminals to buy equipment or reinforcements such as Cadians and Marines. Each player can summon 1 AI Space Marine at a time. Choose their class without restrictions. That is really, really cool. I cannot wait to play this. Now, it says the strongest and most expensive being the Dreadnought, which joins the battlefield to help you for 3 minutes. Buy equipment and reinforcements to make the fight easier or less unbearable. And get this, every 5 waves, you'll take the elevator to change sectors and therefore the field of battle. Completing each sector will grant you more rewards, requisition points, armory data, etc. And most importantly, your mission is to give them no ground. And remember, this is going to be releasing on June 26th. So for those of you that are on the PTS, you'll have plenty of time to really test it out as well. But I really wanted to highlight this right here, of course. You can see the different type of consumables that you can acquire. You even have some armory data in here as well. A Guardian relic, so you can like respawn back in. But it gets really, really cool because the Dreadnought has different versions. The most expensive being this tier version right here, which I imagine is the most powerful version, the tankier version. It costs 1,500 points right there. It's going to be all-out war, let me tell you what. And mentioning all-out war, I think this is the perfect segue into a word from our sponsor. Check this out right here. So guys, check this out. I've been addicted to a game called War Thunder lately because this game keeps on getting bigger and better. If you've never played War Thunder, it is one of the most in-depth vehicle combat games ever made, with over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships from 10 different nations. And yes, it's even free to play on PC, consoles, and even mobile devices. And what's really cool about War Thunder is that you can start off in single player to get used to all of the different vehicles, but then test your skills in the PvP mode, which has over 70 million players in it. And let me tell you, the battles get intense, and the epic tank battles definitely are one of my favorite parts of the game. And another one of my favorite features is easily the vehicle damage model system, which allows you to damage individual parts on your enemy's vehicle. You can damage individual parts like engines, fuel tanks, weapons, and even the crew. So join me now in War Thunder, which is available for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and mobile by clicking on the links in the description down below. Both new and returning players that haven't played for over 6 months will receive a limited time bonus pack for PC and consoles, which includes multiple premium vehicles, an exclusive vehicle decorator, Eagle of Valor, 100,000 Silver Lions, and 7 days of premium account. See you in War Thunder, and click on the links in the description to play now and claim your bonus pack while it's available for a limited time. But back to Space Marine 2, because the blog post goes on to tell us a little bit more about what we can expect from Patch 8, even beyond Siege Mode. So yes, we will get our first taste of the new content by the PTS once again on June 4th, but we'll also be able to test out other features as well beyond just Siege Mode, and we are going to be getting free DLC content in Patch 8 this June. Now, we're going to break it down. So we got the White Scars Chapter Pack, of course. I give further details about what to expect here. The White Scars Chapter Pack will include a new champion skin for the Assault class and 3 exclusive White Scars inspired weapon skins for the Oculus Bolt Carbine, the Stalker Bolt Rifle, and the Combat Knife. Also, a host of cosmetic options and heraldry markings for their successor chapters will be available. Now, the White Scars successor chapters are the following: Dark Hunters, Solar Hawks, Storm Reapers, Mantis Warriors, Destroyers, Marauders, Storm Lords, and Rampagers. That's really nice. And it's going to be pretty fleshed out here for the White Scars. Look at that. Looks absolutely badass. I love the look of the weapons. Dude, I can't wait for this one. This looks freaking awesome. Okay, now the Blood Angels Cosmetic Pack. Which way are you guys leaning, by the way? Let me know. Are you leaning more towards like White Scars this update, or are you going to go all in on the Blood Angels? Look at that. He looks also badass. But anyway, let's talk about the Blood Angels. So yes, the Blood Angels Cosmetic Pack will provide a number of new armor pieces to be equipped on any of the game's playable classes, in addition to heraldry markings celebrating 8 of the Blood Angel Successor chapters. The Blood Angel Successor chapters are the following: Atlantean Spears, Blood Dragons, Flesh Eaters, Blood Scythe, Cementers, Angels Penitent, Angels Sanguine, and yes, the Flesh Terrors. So they look absolutely amazing. Here's another look at them right there. Love the helmet there. Looks really cool. We can't reveal more for the moment. Winking smiley face. So there's a little bit of a tease right there, and we also have a sneak peek. Many sneak peeks are coming with the June and July community updates. We'll talk about the update that comes after 8.0, what we are planning to do after the 1-year anniversary, and more. Stay tuned. So exciting stuff coming up even beyond year 1. They did a recent interview with IGN. Tim Willits of Saber Interactive did have some teases about the future of Space Marine 2. Of course, the Bulwark is going to be seeing some changes. If you missed it, we will have a shieldless Bulwark in the future as an option. And yeah, we'll see what happens with that one. Now, the blog post does go on to mention fan art and that sort of thing, but also this one right here. A word from Focus and Saber. We want to acknowledge the fact that quality of life bugs matter too, such as typos, clipping props of the armor, etc. And we want to fix them, but right now the major content updates promised in our roadmap are taking up a significant portion of our time. That means some of the smaller fixes will take longer to roll out. Our current focus is on resolving the high impact issues like crashes and connectivity problems, which can significantly affect gameplay. Every patch aims to bring improvements on that front. At the top of our priority list right now is improving the connectivity issues that arose after the 7.0 update. We're mainly talking about infinite joining server loops and such issues, preventing players from joining sessions. We made some improvements with the 7.1 and 7.2 hotfixes, but we'll keep working on it for the 8.0 update. Thank you for your patience and understanding as we continue to improve the game. Your support and feedback help guide our work. So they're not going to stop with the quality of life improvements. And I have to say, one of the biggest improvements with the, I believe it was the 7.2 update, is the connectivity issues in regards to duplicate classes. That has been a godsend for sure, and yeah, has been a huge improvement. But you know, I did mention that Focus got busy out on their Discord and responded to a lot of you guys who had some pressing questions about Update 8 and Siege Mode. So I say we get into the replies right now, because let me tell you what, they've been busy. So let's start out right here. Will the next new weapon, whenever it will arrive, be a melee weapon? We got confirmation here that no, it will not be a melee weapon. And it seemed like some of you guys were bummed to hear that news. I know that's been really on the radar for a lot of you guys. So hopefully we do get a melee weapon down the road. It's just not going to come with whatever they have planned next for a new weapon. Now, also we have a quick question regarding increasing difficulty. Is that just the amount of enemies and the types that spawn? Or will the HP cap increase as well to be higher than what the cap is in absolute? And this is a question regarding, of course, siege mode. Now, the response is this: amount of enemies and their damage tankiness will increase as you defeat more and more waves. Dear God. So yeah, you've been warned. You're going to have to really team up together. Now, we have, as a follow-up on this, are you able to say whether Siege will be like World War Z Horde mode, where we start off with lower-leveled guns and must purchase upgrades for them? That's a great question, and the response is as follows. No, you'll start with your regular PvE equipment. Seems like a lot of you are happy about that one, but would you like to be able to upgrade your weapons in a Space Marine game in Horde mode, or do you like it as is, how they're doing it? Now we have this one. Honestly, past a certain point, it's almost impossible to win. Confirms focus right there. And they were also asked this: which wave will that be so we beat it? Oh boy, here comes the challenge. So get this. The response is solo with bots. I went to wave 20. So that's the challenge, at least on solo. Can you get past wave 20? And he did say that difficulty has been fine-tuned and tweaked further since he played siege mode. So I can't wait to see how far we can push this, both in solo and then of course with other players alongside us. Now we also have this question. Apologies for the ping, but to clarify, can you not choose between fighting Nids only or Chaos only? Waves of Tyranids and Chaos. He quotes that blog post, which also did pique my interest. Here's the reply: no, you can't. So I'm kind of curious to see if you guys will be bummed by that little detail there. So it sounds like as you move from sector to sector, it's gonna mix up. So one moment you'll be facing off against all Tyranids, you'll move to a new section, and then it will be Chaos the next moment. So I think that's how it's gonna work. We'll have to play test it, of course, in the PTS in June 4th. So I'm curious to see if they also adjust this, because I imagine, maybe, just maybe, a lot of you guys just want to go all in on Tyranids for the full Horde experience. So I'm thinking that they might want to adjust that. Now, we also have this one. Can you clarify if there are no class restrictions for players in Siege mode, or no class restrictions for Astartes reinforcements? Great question right there. And the response is as follows: there are no class restrictions for AI reinforcements for sure. Ask Musilith for the rest of the question, please. But yeah, I take that as good news. I think it would be too complicated to have class restrictions in that regard. Now, we also have this one. Can we please at least get another community event similar to seismic activity to tie us over until the end of June? And the response is this: there will certainly be a June community event, but I don't know the nature of it yet. So for a community event, what would you guys like to see in the future, especially in June this summer? Sound off. Also, we have this one. There's also no difficulty setting for Horde mode like Ops. That's a great question, and guess what? We did get an actual response here. For those difficulty settings, you can expect there to be 2 difficulty modes out the gates for Horde mode, but you guys know Saber, they're not shy about adding in more difficulties as we go with certain modes. So I think that that will just be the beginning for Horde mode, and they might add in even more difficulties. Now, what about this one question? Do the AI reinforcements you purchase disappear after a wave, or do they stay, assuming you took the effort to keep them alive? And the response is this: reinforcements are here for a duration of time, not an amount of waves. And from what I understand, they can also die. I would expect them later on to especially just die off as well as you fight more and more enemies. But yeah, some really exciting stuff happening around Siege mode, update 8. But I gotta be honest with you, I cannot wait to learn more about what awaits us in year 2 for Space Marine 2. I really want to know more about the roadmap. But now it's time to go over your top comments. Remember, leave a comment down below. It can end up right here in a future video. And also, real quick, a final word from the sponsor of this video. And once again, a massive thank you to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to click on the links in the description down below to play it for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, or mobile, new and returning players that haven't played in 6 months will also receive a massive bonus pack across PC and consoles, including multiple premium vehicles and other goodies. And remember, it's available for a limited time only, so click on the links in the description down below to claim it now. Alright, so let's see what you guys had to say in my most recent Space Marine 2 video, but a real quick note from me, because I made a mistake in my recent Space Marine 2 video. I don't know what happened here. So at 340, for some reason, I say we do not get to see more of the Kendaku Fortress when it is stated we in fact do. So my apologies about that one. I don't know how that happened, but I appreciate you guys working with me on that one. Actually, I do know how that happened. It was super early in the morning when I made that video. I was on like practically zero sleep. So there's the explanation on that one. But yeah, when it comes to this map that we will be experiencing Kendaku, we will be visiting both areas we've seen before in the single player campaign, but new fresh areas as well. So that's going to be pretty cool. Now we got this one, pilot a dreadnought. One does not pilot a dreadnought. One becomes a dreadnought in perpetuity. IGN should have a talk with the chaplain. Hell yes. 220 upvotes. IGN was not going to get away with that one. And we have, I think, Space Marine as a Battlefront game would be great in the Horus Heresy. A lot more vehicles and a lot more weapon options. There are so many things they could do with a Warhammer Battlefront game. I'm going to keep mentioning it until it happens, but wouldn't it be crazy if we got a Warhammer Battlefront style game before we got Battlefront 3? Honestly, I would not be surprised with how Star Wars has handled the Battlefront franchise after all these years. But anyway, that's a whole other discussion. Now we also have, I'm hoping, shieldless bulwark means weapons like two-handed relic blades and eviscerators. Dude, that would be sick. They could do so much by opening up the bulwark like that. But it seemed like a lot of you guys were super hyped by that news about the bulwark, having more options there. Now we also have apothecary and chaplain classes should definitely be added along with Tech Marine. It would open up gameplay in variations so much for us console players who don't have access to mods. It would probably bring a lot of players back, and it would open up more champion skins for the Season 2 Battle Pass. Just seems like a no-brainer to me. Yeah, the more classes, the better in my opinion. As long as it's balanced, of course. But Chaplain would be really, really cool. I gotta say, if they do Tech Marine first, which it seems like they're gonna do Tech Marine first, at least according to leaks, I would go Chaplain and then Apothecary. I think that would be really, really cool to see for sure. All right, so there it is. The latest happenings around Space Marine 2. As always, I promise you guys I have you covered on this one. Super hyped to see what is going on next beyond Update 8. But also, you know what? It was mentioned out on Discord that Saber is also working on other things beyond Space Marine 2. And I think that might have been like a little tease about Turok Origins. That one I'm super hyped for, given the quality of Space Marine 2. I love, Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. And if we get something with dinosaurs, Turok, that's what I'm talking about. And I love Turok, the franchise as well. So yeah, I'm down for that, to rotate between Space Marine 2 and Turok. Looking forward to it. But thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned here for more, and I will see you all next time. Take care.